Have you ever felt like you're carrying a burden that no one else seems to understand? An invisible responsibility that, even in silence, screams inside you? If you felt this way, know that you might be one of the chosen ones. Today, we're going to uncover a hidden truth that few dare to speak about: the weight of divine responsibility. This video is for those who, even without all the answers, walk bravely on a journey that not everyone gets. Get ready, because we're going to explore the challenges, sacrifices, and the invisible strength that only the chosen ones know. This isn't just any video, it's a call to you who feel born for something greater. You'll discover how to handle the weight of your mission, face your own shadows, and find strength in silence. We'll talk about the isolation that often feels like a punishment but is actually a disguised gift. And finally, we'll reveal how invisible signs and synchronicities guide your path, showing that you're never alone. If you feel there's something special in your life, a purpose that goes beyond the ordinary, this video is for you. Ready to uncover the hidden truth of the chosen ones? Then, let's embark on this journey together. One's being chosen isn't an easy task. From the moment someone awakens to their mission, an invisible load settles on their shoulders, a sense of responsibility that goes beyond the ordinary. The chosen ones are like beacons in the darkness, guiding those around them even when they themselves don't have all the answers. This divine mission is like a flame that constantly burns, demanding strength, focus, and faith, especially in times of uncertainty. Spiritual responsibility is different from any other burden because it involves the destiny not only of oneself but of everyone connected to the chosen one. Every step taken by the chosen ones carries a deep emotional weight. It's not just about following their own path but also about inspiring and lighting the way for others. The fear of failure is a constant companion, not just fearing to disappoint themselves but feeling that the mission can impact lives in ways that are often unpredictable. This pressure to stay strong, to not falter, creates a cycle of personal sacrifices that few see. The chosen one often feels obliged to give up worldly desires and pleasures to align with a greater purpose, and this can be painful and lonely. The sacrifice of the chosen goes beyond the physical, it touches the spiritual and emotional. There are moments when it's necessary to distance oneself from friends, family, and even oneself to understand the grandeur of the mission. The pressure to stay aligned with the spiritual truth is constant, and any slip is felt in an amplified way. It's like carrying a weight that never decreases, a constant reminder that your life is on a bigger stage. This burden can lead to internal doubts, making the chosen question if they're truly on the right path or prepared for the task they've been given. Despite all the pressure, the chosen find an inner strength that emerges when they least expect it. It's this strength that drives them to continue, even when the journey feels unbearable. They know that the weight of responsibility isn't a punishment but a disguised honor. Every challenge faced, every sacrifice made, is a reminder that they're alive for something greater, something that transcends the ego and the material. This recognition is what keeps them steadfast, turning the weight of responsibility into a purpose that illuminates their lives and those of everyone lucky enough to cross their paths. And it's precisely this strength, often invisible to others, that prepares the chosen for the deepest challenges yet to come. The journey of the chosen isn't just made of light and inspiration, it's also marked by deep shadows that, sooner or later, need to be faced. These shadows represent everything that's hidden inside: fears, insecurities, traumas, and parts of oneself that we often prefer to ignore. Facing these weaknesses isn't a choice but a necessity for those carrying the divine mission. At this point in the journey, the chosen confront their own demons in an internal battle that often takes place in the silence of their own mind and heart. It's here that true strength is tested and shaped. Each chosen one carries their shadows uniquely, but the struggle against them has a common denominator: the courage to look in the mirror and acknowledge that weaknesses are also part of the path. It's not easy to deal with the doubts that arise in moments of solitude when the fear of not being enough or failing the mission becomes overwhelming. These moments of internal confrontation can seem unbearable, but they are what carve the true character of the chosen. the shadow is a silent teacher, imparting lessons on humility, resilience, and, most importantly, the need to embrace all aspects of oneself, even those that seem undesirable. Overcoming these weaknesses doesn't mean eliminating them completely, but transforming them into allies in the growth process. The chosen learns to use their own wounds as sources of strength, realizing that it's precisely in vulnerability that lies the power to rise again. Every fear faced, every weakness acknowledged, becomes a spiritual victory that brings the chosen closer to their true essence. It's in this process that they discover that their shadows aren't enemies but vital parts of their journey that challenge them to become more authentic and aware. Transformation occurs when the chosen stops fleeing their own darkness and instead chooses to illuminate it with the light of their courage and faith. This internal battle also prepares the chosen for the external challenges they'll encounter in their mission. By facing their own shadows, they become more empathetic, wiser, and, above all, better prepared to guide others in their own struggles. The chosen realizes that to be a true guide, they first need to navigate themselves through the labyrinths of their insecurities. It's a solitary journey but deeply liberating, where the greatest enemy becomes the greatest teacher. And it's precisely this internal transformation that gives the chosen the strength needed to move forward, with a renewed confidence that no matter how dark the road, they possess within themselves the light to overcome any darkness. After confronting their own shadows, the chosen one awakens to one of their greatest powers, silence. In a world that constantly demands quick answers, immediate reactions, and endless defenses, the act of not reacting becomes a true demonstration of strength. For the chosen one, silence isn't a sign of weakness but a profound form of resistance and wisdom. They understand that not every battle is worth fighting, and that often, the best response is no response at all. This silence isn't emptiness but a sacred space where the chosen one connects with their essence and preserves their energy. Silence allows the chosen one to observe without being dragged into external turbulence. Instead of getting lost in unnecessary conflicts, they choose to stay calm, turning every provocation into a moment of introspection. This act of not reacting disarms attacks and confuses those who expect explosive responses. It's a display of self-control that's only possible when you master your own emotions. For the chosen one, silence is a way to protect their peace and purpose, enabling them to stay focused on what truly matters, their spiritual mission. Moreover, silence teaches the chosen one to listen to more than just words. They hear the energy behind every situation, sensing hidden intentions and lessons tucked between the lines of life. It's in silence that spiritual guides communicate, answers reveal themselves, and clarity emerges. By choosing not to react, the chosen one makes room for the universe to act in their favor, bringing solutions beyond human understanding. This non-reaction is a sign of absolute faith. Trust that even without acting, everything is moving according to the divine plan. The power of silence is also a shield against negativity. When the chosen one opts for silence, they're not submitting but rising above the dense vibrations that try to steer them off their path. They know that every word spoken in a moment of anger or fear can become an obstacle, while silence preserves their energy and spiritual integrity. This wisdom is a gift earned over time and experience, one of the greatest assets the chosen one can carry. It's serenity amid chaos, peace in the face of provocation, and the certainty that sometimes, the most powerful action is simply not to react. The journey of the chosen ones is often marked by a deep sense of isolation. This isolation isn't just physical but also spiritual, as they frequently feel misunderstood and distant from a world that doesn't grasp the dimensions of their mission. However, this solitude isn't a punishment but a necessary phase for inner strengthening. It's in solitude that the chosen one finds themselves and reconnects with their essence, free from distractions and external influences. Isolation, though painful, is also a space to encounter the divine, where external voices quiet down, and the inner voice grows stronger. Moments of loneliness are actually an opportunity for the chosen one to dive deep into their own soul. They allow them to question, reflect, and better understand the challenges they face. Without the interference of the outside world, the chosen one confronts their deepest truths, fears, and longings. It's a process of spiritual purification, where they let go of old patterns, limiting beliefs, and anything that no longer resonates with their purpose. This journey of self-discovery prepares them to face the world with greater clarity and strength. Solitude also strengthens the chosen one's connection with their spiritual guides. When the world's noise quiets down, the messages from the unseen become clearer and more frequent. The chosen one learns to trust the subtleties of silence, the intuitions that arise, and the synchronicities that guide every step. In this quiet space, they realize they're never truly alone. There's always a divine presence by their side, guiding and protecting them. Therefore, the solitary journey isn't about being isolated but about being in communion with something much greater. While isolation can be challenging, it's also an inexhaustible source of silent strength. The chosen one learns that they don't need external validation to follow their path. Their confidence comes from within. Loneliness transforms into a fertile ground for spiritual self-sufficiency, where the chosen one discovers that their greatest company is themselves. This understanding brings a deep sense of peace and autonomy, allowing them to move through the world with unwavering serenity. Thus, isolation ceases to be a burden and becomes a vital part of the journey, preparing the chosen one to return to the world wiser, stronger, and more aware of their purpose. As the chosen one progresses on their journey, they begin to realize they're not alone. Amid challenges, doubts, and moments of introspection, signs appear that seem like mere coincidences but carry much deeper meanings. These invisible signs are subtle messages from spiritual guides, angels, and divine forces that accompany the chosen one every step of the way. They might show up as an unexpected word, a repeated number, a song that plays at just the right moment, or even a seemingly random encounter. These synchronicities are the universe's way of communicating that the chosen one is on the right path. Spiritual guides act as silent protectors, whispering guidance through events that, at first glance, seem random. For the chosen one, recognizing these signs requires sensitivity and trust. They learn to open up to the invisible, understanding that the answers they seek often don't come in obvious ways but reveal themselves in the everyday moments of life. This connection with the divine strengthens when the chosen one allows themselves to slow down and pay close attention, realizing that the universe is working in their favor, guiding their decisions, and bolstering their faith. The presence of guides and synchronicities not only brings comfort but also courage to face emerging challenges. Each sign is like an invisible hug, a confirmation that a greater plan is in motion. Even in the toughest times, when everything feels uncertain, the chosen one senses they are not abandoned. These spiritual messages are like little lanterns lighting the way in dark times. Trusting these signs becomes a compass, directing the chosen one where to go, even if the next steps aren't entirely clear. As the chosen one becomes more aware of these synchronicities, they start to actively collaborate with the universe. They understand that their mission is to co-create with divine forces, allowing the signs to guide them with ease and wisdom. This partnership with the invisible reinforces their purpose and broadens their perspective, showing that despite the challenges, they are never truly alone. The chosen one realizes that the journey is actually a constant dialogue between the visible and the invisible, and that each synchronicity is a loving reminder that they are exactly where they need to be, at the right time, living the mission they were called to. Throughout this video, we've explored the deep challenges that only the chosen ones understand, the weight of responsibility, confronting shadows, the wisdom of silence, and the isolating strength that fortifies us. Each part of this journey is a fundamental piece of the puzzle that is your divine mission. Remember, being chosen doesn't mean having all the answers or being perfect. It means being willing to face yourself, to rise up to challenges, and to trust the invisible signs that guide you, even when the path seems uncertain. If you see yourself reflected in these words, know that your journey has a greater purpose. Don't ignore the signs, don't underestimate your strength, and never forget that you are not alone. Every challenge is a lesson, every silence is a response, and every synchronicity is a reminder that the universe is by your side. Keep moving forward with faith and confidence, because your path is unique and essential. And if you know someone else on this journey, share this video and spread this message. Together, we are stronger. Thank you for being here and for being part of this mission. Until next time.